I called her and talked about the position, and then Charlotte called me 2 times a day, every day, probably for the next 8 or 9 days until I was like, okay, I'm ready.
I'm Charlotte Waterbury. I am a case manager and pardon specialist with Clean Slate Utah. Destiny has been my boss for the past about 2.5 to 3 years.
Destiny Garcia. I'm the executive director of Clean Slate Utah, and I live in Utah.
As soon as I started working, it just clicked. I have tried to go through the expungement process before I worked for Clean Slate. I tried twice and I failed because I was so confused. You walk into BCI, you get fingerprinted, all of it's, so I knew that expungement was something I wanted in my life, but I didn't know how to get there. And then when I was given this opportunity to not only learn myself, but then to help people in the situation I was at, it lit a fire. And we've been talking a lot this weekend about our calling, and I'm so proud of myself, and I know that where I'm at, I don't know how I would have gotten there without Destiny. So at 35, I was back to being unsheltered and didn't have a job, and so I decided to check into treatment. By that point, I was just getting too old for this, and being homeless in Salt Lake in the winter is awful. So that kind of gave me a push too. So I went into Odyssey, and Destiny worked on the weekends. When I got into recovery and I started actively working to stay on a good path, to stay on a path that was hard but was sober, things started to change for me.
I just watched her. Like, she was amazing. She was determined. She was motivated. She was so different than all the other clients there. Like, she stood out. She showed up early. She overworked. But when I was reaching out looking for temp workers, Odyssey House has a program called the JETS program that gives people admin skills and office skills. But I reached out to somebody at Odyssey House, and I'm like, I'm looking for temp workers. And he goes, oh, I know somebody perfect that just left Odyssey House. It's Charlotte. And I'm like, oh my God, Charlotte? Give me her number. I'm gonna call Charlotte right now. And I called Charlotte to offer her a temp position. And then I was not willing to let her go after that. I'm still not willing to let her go.
It's so much more than a mentor. It's so much more. I view Destiny as family. And what I think is incredible is that Destiny kind of had a similar opportunity with going to work at the mayor's office. And she passed that same type of opportunity on to me. I was a barista for years. Then when I was unsheltered, it was, just whatever you could do to get by, and shoplifting and just all the things, right? So having the opportunity to have a career, something that's stable, and I've never ever had a salary job. I've never had something that was just consistent. And it's crazy that I was a homeless prostitute for years, and now I have a career and a home and all the things. Just all inspiring to see what can happen in your life when you're doing the next right thing. And it was pretty amazing when she called and offered me temp work. I was like, girl, you don't even got to pay me. Like, I want to do this, and it just felt so. It just felt right. And the magnitude in which we help people is it's incredible. There's nothing like it.